Hello and welcome to our OBC at Home Christmas special. My name is Tom.
And I'm Ellie, and we're really excited to be bringing you this fun-filled Christmas themed show on Christmas Eve.
It's been over 6 months since we last brought OBC at Home to you.
That's right, all the way back in June we last brought this show to you.
But today we're back with some of your favourite features. What's New with Nigel?
The Quarantine Quiz Show.
A classic comedy sketch from Gillian Mason, all with a festive flavour.
And we've even got an interview with a very special guest, but more about that later.
For now though, we're going to start with some music to get you into the Christmas spirit on this Christmas Eve.
So here's Rob Mason singing Casting Crowns while you were sleeping.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, looks like another silent night. Above your deep and dreamless sleep, a giant star lights up the sky. While you're lying in the dark, there shines an everlasting light. For the King has left his throne and is sleeping in a manger tonight. Oh, Bethlehem, what you have missed while you were sleeping. For God became a man and stepped into your world today. Oh, Bethlehem, you will go down in history as a city with no room for its king. While you were sleeping, while you were sleeping. Mary shivers in the cold, trying to keep the baby warm. Born among the animals, wrapped in dirty rags, because there was no room for him in the world he came to save. Oh, Bethlehem, what have you missed while you were sleeping? For God became a man and stepped into your world today. Oh, Bethlehem, you will go down in history as a city with no room for its king. While you were sleeping, while you were sleeping. And in this green and pleasant land, looks like another silent night. save the trees and kill the children. And while we're lying in the dark, there's a shout heard across the eastern sky. For the bridegroom has returned and has carried his bride away in the night, in the night. And so, England, what will we miss while we are sleeping? Will Jesus come again and leave us slumbering where we lay? And so, England, will we go down in history as a nation with no room for its king? Will we be sleeping? Will we be sleeping? And in this green and pleasant land, looks like another silent night.
Well, as always, a big thank you to Rob for kicking us off with a song there. That was While You Were Sleeping by Casting Crowns. Now, Rob, along with the rest of our OBC music group, otherwise known as Regeneration, have this year produced an album called Light in the Darkness. It's full of Christmas songs and carols. It's still available to purchase on our online shop. You can get it either as a digital download or as a physical CD, although we do have limited stock now of the physical CD after a really successful release. You can get your hands on a copy if you haven't already bought one, either for yourself or to give to someone else as a gift this Christmas time by visiting our online shop, www.oadbybaptist.church/shop. Digital downloads are just £3 each, and the physical CDs are just £4 each. As I've said, we've had a really successful launch of this, our first ever Christmas CD, and we're really grateful to all of you who have already purchased a copy either for yourself or for others. One of our other really successful initiatives that I just want to take a few minutes to tell you about is our Feed a Family project. We're all aware that this year has been an incredibly tough year in so many ways for so many people, but it's also been a year when food bank use has increased dramatically. Trussell Trust are anticipating a 61% increase in the need for food parcels over the Christmas period compared to this time last year, with an estimated 6 parcels being distributed to families and individuals in need every minute through the Trussell Trust alone. 6 parcels every minute. Of course, Marcus Rashford's campaign to ensure children on free school meals still have access to food over the Christmas holidays has also resulted in a significant increase in the need for food parcels. And actually, we're incredibly proud of our Oadby Food Bank and for all the fantastic work they do, which is why we wanted to support them more than ever this Christmas. So we set up our Feed a Family initiative, which encouraged you to take a shopping list created in partnership with the Oadby Food Bank and buy as many items from that list as you could, knowing that each completed list would help provide 1 food parcel for 1 household this Christmas. Well, the response we had to this initiative was simply breathtaking. On Saturday the 12th and on Sunday the 13th of December, we received hundreds of donated items that were sorted and that were packed and that were sent up to the food bank at the end of that weekend. You know, we actually managed 7 full carloads. 7 full carloads were sent up to the food bank, and you know, that was only about 2/3 of what we received. The other third is being stored for now at OBC because it was just simply too much to all be taken at once. So on behalf of the OBC Food Bank, can I just say a huge thank you to all of you who donated so generously, whether that was items of food or with financial donations. No matter how much or how little you gave, every single item will go on to make a difference to someone in our local community this Christmas. So thank you. Now on with the show, and it's time to introduce a very popular feature here on OBC at Home. Here with his very own Christmas special. Let's find out what's new with Nigel.
Well, hello and Merry Christmas to everybody. Isn't this just wonderful? And what's new with Nigel Christmas special? And I have to say, when Tom phoned me up to ask me to do this, I was super excited. So what can you expect from today's episode? Well, we're going to have a bit of a look back on some of the things that we've done over the past year. And then we'll look forward. We'll look forward to 2021 and start thinking about some of the things that perhaps we might be doing in this new year. But first, let's have a recap. Let's have a look back at some of the things that we've done and how this adventure we've been on together first started.
It all started with the social media storm which followed my announcement that I was taking up Pilates. Sadly, this turned out to be an ill-fated venture, but I'm delighted to report that Mrs. Swan continues to be an energetic follower of this regime. I was encouraged to explore other activities which could inspire others to take up new things during the original lockdown, and so What's New with Nigel was born, each episode looking at a new activity. Gardening was a firm favourite. Yes, in mid-December the veg plot does look a bit bare, with only the kale remaining. But the harvest was plentiful and many joined in with the delight of growing your own vegetables. Facebook was filled with posts from the likes of Jan Carter and Ed Carmichael showing off the fruits of their labour and some of the dishes, the fantastic food that was created from these ingredients. And my next task was to demonstrate the art of cooking with my wonderful butternut squash dal. I then shared my knowledge of map making. Here is one of my favourite maps, and it links to my most successful new activity of the year, running. This map shows my favourite 5-kilometre running route. Having successfully run my first 5k live on air, I've continued to enjoy the pounding of the streets. During this time, I've been joined by many celebrities keen to be associated with my running success story, and I often find my blurred picture appearing on Instagram posts as people desperately want to see me running. But my biggest achievement was running the Adnams 10k charity run, for which I was awarded this beautiful medal. I'm very proud of it, and it goes nicely alongside the achievements of other members of the Swan family. I'm sure you agree that this is a fitting place to display my amazing award. But not everything I turned my hand to was successful. Spurred on by the amazing professionalism of Tom and Ellie presenting, my attempt was scuppered by a cantankerous Paul Neville. It is interesting that Tom and Ellie appear to have retired the sofa. Instead, Tom is rivaling Amazon's Jim Bezos through the launch of the highly profitable OBC online shop. You might be interested in seeing these new exclusive pictures of what the Oasis Centre looks like now. It is being used as the busy OBC fulfilment centre, and you can see members of the Girls Brigade and Boys Brigade busily dispatching copies of Rob Mason's latest CDs.
Well, what a year 2020's been. Full of ups and downs. And I think as we think forwards into next year, we know that there's going to be another set of challenges and adjustments to be made. And so I thought for this Christmas special, we'd look forward and try to anticipate what some of those challenges might be. And I think the one that a lot of us are giving a lot of thought about, I know the leadership team are, is what services might look like when we get back into the sanctuary, whether that's through live streaming or full in situ services. Now, I don't think we can pretend that this transition is going to be a simple or easy one. There's going to be challenges. We've all got used, haven't we, to the way that we operate via Teams or Zoom. We've got into our own habits of how we worship and what we do when we worship. And we need to think through how we're going to translate what we're doing at home back into the church arena. And I think for many of us, we'll be looking at what can we take from our current experiences into the church. What do I mean by that? Well, we know that many people fast forward the service on Zoom. We also know that many people are doing other things whilst watching the service. We know what you're doing. So perhaps we need to think about what that might look like when we get back. How can we adapt our services in a way that allows us perhaps to do some of these things that we currently do on a Sunday morning? And as I said, the leadership team are looking at this very much at the moment. So I thought we would have a look at what that might look like. The first point then, fast forwarding. Well, let me just say, fast forwarding will not be allowed. Indeed, fast forwarding to the coffee and refreshments is specifically prohibited within our constitution. So we won't be doing that. But what about the things that we all do during the services? Now, of course, historically, there are things that people have been doing in the church during the services, and they, of course, will probably continue. The first and most obvious one being sleeping. And the second one is probably, and who hasn't done this, the art of opening a boiled sweet very, very slowly, making sure that you get the maximum disruption from the wrapper as you open it as slowly as you possibly can. And you get that real sense of achievement if you can prolong it into a period of silence. So those things are probably going to continue. But during lockdown, people have been doing lots of other things. So let's start having a look at what some of those were. So the first one is knitting. Hugely popular amongst many, many people. And I have to admit, I came rather late to the whole knitting thing. Why was that, you ask? Well, I heard the phrase, a big knit. And well, I thought it was about a specific person in the congregation. And well, actually, I thought that was a bit harsh. But no, it's not. It's about knitting. And lots of people are knitting things like this, and hats and gloves and scarves or blankets, all sorts of things, which is absolutely super. And do we think that that's going to be allowed going forward? Well, I think lots of people hope so. As a preacher, we can quite get into some sort of rhythm as the clicking of the needles happen. But interestingly, knitting during church services has got so popular throughout the country that the BU has established a new way of measuring the success of a service, how popular it is. It's called the Knitting Index. And we've been actually trialling this in OBC for quite some time, sort of below the surface of people aren't aware. And I've got some really exciting news, actually. During one recent service, Bill Davis was preaching, we produced, or the Big Knit team produced a sock, which is really, really good. But really exciting news, when Tom preached a few weeks ago, look at all of these socks that were produced. Absolutely incredible. And I think if we ever did need evidence of the benefit of many years of training, this is it, because this is just tremendous sock producing, sermon writing and presenting. So well done, Tom. So perhaps knitting can continue. But what else have people been up to? Well, a lot of people have been reporting on the fact that they have been ironing during the church service. Indeed, many are reporting that they've never been so up to date with their ironing as they are now. Is that something that will be able to continue once we're back in the church? Well, unfortunately not. The operations team have already looked into this and have concluded that there are insufficient power sockets in the sanctuary to allow us all to do this. And what about cooking? Lots of people have sung the praises of the benefit of being able to pop out and put the potatoes on during the 11th song of the service. This has meant that the standard of Sunday lunches across OB has generally improved quite considerably. And I know a lot of people would still like to be able to do this, even though we're back in the service. Well, Tom has already looked into this, and he has plans to revamp the kitchen, which will allow people to pop out and put on their veg or their meat or start making the gravy at any time during the 11th, 12th and 13th song of the service. So great news. You can continue to have your vegetables al dente every Sunday morning. So there's some ideas about what might happen next year, but the leadership team are really keen to understand what you've been doing during the church services. And so do drop them a line and tell them what you've been doing, and they'll look into whether that's going to be possible to support throughout 2021 once we're back in the church. So there you go. That's about my time up. I hope you've enjoyed the opportunity to relive some of the highlights of 2020 and have had some food for thought as we think forward to 2021 and how we have had picked up some really good things during 2020 and whether we can keep those good habits going through to 2021. Well, as I said at the beginning, it's a joy that I have been asked to do this Christmas special for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed doing it. And I just want to wish everybody who's listening a really happy Christmas and a happy New Year. And, well, I think we can only end with one of the key truths of the Christmas season. I am the angel Gabriel.
So there you go, that's what's new with Nigel. What an amazing journey Nigel has been on during lockdown, and we're so privileged to have gained an insight into some of his hobbies and passions. Though a virtual 10k doesn't sound quite as tough as a real 10k run, but we're still very proud of him here on OBC at home, not least for going out in public in those socks. And Nigel, I'm sure the operations team and the leadership team will take into serious consideration your suggestions for when we return to the building. He certainly had a lot of them, didn't he? In fact, that episode was longer than each of the Vicar of Dibley Christmas specials, can you believe? It was almost as long as one of Tom's sermons, but at least he was funnier.
Hey!
Sorry, moving on quickly, it's time to introduce another firm favourite of many of you at home. It's time for a special Champion of Champions edition of the Quarantine Quiz Show, bringing together some of our previous winners for a one-off Christmas special. Why don't you play along at home and see whether you can beat our champions? Here is the Quarantine Quiz Show with the one and only Luke Wigston.
Hi and welcome back to the Quarantine Quiz Show with your host Luke Wigston. What a special show we have for you today. Not only is this our Christmas special, all based around the song The 12 Days of Christmas, but this will be the ultimate challenge. Bowed out by our previous winners to find out who will be the champion of champions. Let us remind ourselves who they are.
Hi, my name is Kieran.
And I'm Eden.
And we won the Mr. and Mrs. Quarantine Quiz Show.
Hi, I'm Richard, and I won the Catchphrase Quarantine Quiz Show.
Hi, my name's Mark.
My name's Jo.
And we won the Blockbusters Quarantine Quiz Show.
Yay!
For our special 12 Days of Christmas Quarantine Quiz Show, we will go through each line of the song and the question will be based on that. Our contestants just need to click on the answer they think it is. Kieran and Eden will be represented by the red heart, Richard will be represented by the blue arrow, and Mark and Jo will be represented by the yellow star. Some questions will be straightforward, but some will be whoever gets the closest. Let's play the 12 Days of Christmas. Let's find out what question 1 is. A partridge in a pear tree. Find the eye in the reflection, with the reflection being that black line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, interesting. Let's find out who was right. They're very close. Wow.
Oh, wow.
And that arrow is spot on. Well done.
Richard,
Well done, Richard. You're all very close, but Richard was spot on there. Could not have been better. That's the first point goes to Richard. Let's find out what question 2 is. 2 turtle doves. Turtle doves are England's only migrating dove. But where do they migrate to? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click. Okay. There are a couple of people in a similar kind of area. One person really somewhere else. Maybe they saw your answer and thought.
Mine are long distance. Mine are long distance.
Let's find out where they migrate to.
So, it's a good start.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow. What?
I think it's fair to say that Richard is right again. Well done, Richard. Let's find out what question 3 is. 3 French hens. Which one of these hens is actually French? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and click. Okay, you've all gone for the middle one, so you're all right or you're all wrong. That one does look a little bit French, I think, I suppose. Let's find out if you are right. No, you're not. That is not a French hen. The French hen is the one on the left. Question 4. 4 calling birds. Which of these birds makes the loudest noise? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and click. Okay, so Mark and Jo and Eden and Kieran have gone for that top right one, and Richard on his own has gone for that top left one. And you would be correct, Richard.
Oh, wow.
Well done. That makes the loudest noise. Moving on to number 5. 5 gold rings. But which one of these Olympic rings is the yellow one? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, interesting.
We think it's
all different. At least you're all different this time. It's good to see. The yellow one is actually, in fact, it's that one.
Oh, of course.
It goes blue, black, red, yellow, green. No points to anybody. So 6 geese are laying. But which one of these eggs comes from a goose? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
No, we're
with
Richard. We're bound to be right.
Yeah. Follow Richard. He knows the way. Let's find out if he continues to know the way. Oh, he does not. Well done, Eden and Kieran. That top left is a goose egg. The next one along is a common chicken egg. The next one is a duck egg. And the one that Tom is holding is an ostrich egg.
I was like, that can only be an ostrich.
Got that right.
Moving on to number 7. 7 swans are swimming. But what do you call a group of swans? Tap, ballet, swing, or river. A group of swans can be known by a few different names, but only one of these is correct. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Everyone's gone different. Which is good. Nobody thinks that you call a group of swans a swing.
No, I don't
Well,
think.
You'd be right.
I can't say a string of swans.
Yeah, a swing of swans. It's not. It would be very clever if you did call it that. But the actual answer is
A ballet.
a ballet.
Yeah!
Cool. A group of swans, a ballet. Well done, Mark and Joe. You've got yourselves on the scoreboard. Moving on to number 8. 8 maids are milking. But how many teats do cows have? 2, 4, 6, or 8?
No, but I.
And I've checked that picture. You cannot see and cannot count.
Okay. No.
It will not help you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, so there's a couple of different ones there. Not too sure between 4 and 6. So I find this is quite a miscommon one because it's not as many as you think.
Oh no.
Oh.
Is it?
It's 4.
Oh, it's 4. Cool.
4 is correct. Well done, you 3.
Cool.
Often people think it is 6, but it's not, apparently. Number 9. 9 ladies dancing. But which Strictly Come Dancing pro has won Strictly Come Dancing the most? I will not read out the names because I do not know them all. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and click. Let's find out what the actual answer is. The answer is this person here, and this person is called Aliona. She won it with 2 people. One was Harry Judd and one was somebody else. Joe, do you know who the other person was?
I was going to say it was Jay, but I could be wrong.
No, it might be.
Jay from the same band as Harry Judd, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I got the question wrong. Anyway.
No points there. And moving into our final 3 questions. 10 lords are leaping, but what is the world record long jump? And we'll see whoever gets closest.
Meters.
They are meters. I'll clarify. They are meters on the bottom, from 1 meter to 20 meters. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and click. Okay, interesting. So they're all similar kind of areas. No one wants to go up to the 20-meter mark. Well, I have put it on there. Maybe I've put it on there to kind of fool you.
Yeah.
That's not triple jump 20 meters, isn't it?
Let's find out where the answer is. Where is it going to stop? Just there. Well done.
Oh.
So I think that is who is the star? Mark and Joe, you just edged that one. Well done, you, on Richard. So the world record is 8 meters and 95 centimeters, just shy of that 9-meter one. So well done to you guys. Almost to the end now with 11 pipers piping. This is a recorder, but which note would you cover to blow the D note? You only cover one of those that you can see, but which one of them would you cover? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, very nice. So 2 of you. Richard is a musician that we all know, and so maybe he knows the right one, so Mark and Joe could be wise to go along with them. But even Kieran might be right. And this one is whoever is correct, because it's not enough options. Let's find out who is right.
Oh.
No.
Spot on. The musician. Okay, so moving on to the last question now. 12 drummers drumming. But I want you to point to the floor tom. Where is the floor tom in that drum kit? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, interesting. So Eden and Kieran have gone for the drum that's closest to the floor, which makes sense.
In case.
And everybody else has gone for something different. So we all know that everybody's a little bit musical, and we know that Eden doesn't remember her notes as well as Mark. And I think it turns out that Mark is a good drum player as well. Well done, Richard and Mark and Joe, for that one. Logic did not help in that question.
No, it did not.
Let's find out what the final results are. In third place, we have Eden and Kieran with 2 points.
Well done.
In second place, we have Mark and Joe with 4 points. Which means that our winner this week, our winner and our champion of champions, is the mighty Richard with 6 whole points.
Yay.
Well done, Richard. You are the Quarantine Quiz Show champion of champions. How do you feel?
Thank you. Surprised, to be quite honest.
Well, we know your bird and musical knowledge is second to none.
Exactly.
Pretty good guesswork as well, I must say.
Good. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us on the Quarantine Quiz Show. On behalf of everyone involved in the show, we hope you all have a Merry Christmas.
Fantastic. Big congratulations to Richard, who is crowned our Quarantine Quiz Show champion of champions.
Commiserations to Mark and Joe and Kieran and Eden. But as Luke likes to say, it's the taking part that counts.
Yeah, I mean, that's only because he never wins.
Well, didn't he beat you 9-0 at table football once?
Shh! Don't tell everyone that. Look, can we just move on?
Yes, of course. But we're going to stay with the theme of winners because we've been asking you at home to send in your Advent theme artwork each week for us to show in our Sunday services throughout Advent.
That's right. As well as showing the artwork that you've been sending into us in our services each week, we're also going to be using them for a special video to be released as part of our Christmas Day family celebration service, which you can watch anytime from 9 AM on our YouTube channel on Christmas Day.
Today though, we just wanted to take an opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has sent in their artwork to us. Now, this isn't a competition.
Because of course we didn't want Luke to lose anything.
But we do want to share with you one piece from each week that Tom and I have voted for as our favourite.
We do indeed. So here is our favourite piece of artwork on the theme of love. Thank you to Isabel Milligan for submitting this one to us.
Here's our favourite on the theme of peace. This one was submitted by Val Hill, and we really love the message of peace for the whole world, which it highlights, and which is such an important part of the Christmas message. So thank you and well done to Val.
Next, the theme of joy, and a big thank you to Julia Neville, who submitted this wonderful piece that really captures with these bright colours that feeling of joy that Christmas and the birth of Jesus can bring to us.
And finally, our favourite Advent artwork on the theme of hope is this piece submitted by Graham Neville. Graham submitted a similar photograph for each of our Advent themes, but we particularly like this one on the theme of hope, not least because of the creativity behind some of the letters. So thank you and well done to Graham.
Now these are just 4 of the 50 or so pieces that you submitted, and the truth is we had lots and lots of favourites. So we just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who submitted a piece of artwork, and we hope you look forward to seeing your Advent artwork feature in our Christmas Day celebration service.
As Tom said, the service will be available from 9 AM on Christmas morning over on our YouTube channel, and you can also access it via our website by visiting www.oadbybaptist.church/Christmas and clicking on the button for Advent and Christmas services.
Indeed. Now, moving on, some of us like to put stars on top of our Christmas trees.
Others prefer angels.
But I wonder how many of you would opt for a Christmas fairy.
Well, we're going to meet one such fairy now.
Here with an adaptation of a sketch by author Stephen Deal.
A sketch which makes even Victoria Wood look sane.
It's Gillian Mason as Esmeralda the Fairy.
Hosanna in the highest. Oh, that's nice. Now, where's my tiara? Oh, hello. No, don't mind me. I'm nearly done. Does that look straight to you? Oh, look at this. It's a Christmas card from Cinderella. Dear Esmeralda, Merry Christmas, love from Cinders and Charming. Kiss, kiss, kiss. P.S. Please, can you send me your recipe for pumpkin pie? Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, yeah. Well, what a palaver, eh? Every year it's same. The sound of the last firework dies away, and Asda is discounting mince pies on telly. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's the festive season. Mind you, you won't hear me complaining. Oh no, it may only be seasonal work, but being the fairy on top of Christmas tree is a lot better than having to scrape a living collecting children's teeth from under pillows like poor old Doris the Tooth Fairy. You won't believe it, but nowadays people go around sticking fluoride in toothpaste, but they don't think of consequences. Some of us fairies have to make a living out of bad teeth. But being fairy on top of Christmas tree is dead brill. For a start, you get a good view of what's going on, and don't it go on, eh? First of all, there's that business with Father Christmas. Now, what's that all about, eh? A fat bloke in a red suit with a dodgy-looking beard squeezes his way down the chimney and leaves a load of stuff. First time I saw him, I thought he was a fly tipper. I had a peek one year, you know. Do you know, he arrived on a flying sleigh. It's only got one light, and that's red, and it's stuck on the nose of a reindeer. Now, that can't be legal, can it? Oh, and then poor elves he has. He's right mean with them, you know. He never lets them have a swig at sherry that people leave out for him. Yeah, he's really tight. Mind you, it's probably a good thing thinking about it, because they're dead vicious, them elves, when they're drunk. Anyway, do you like my new hairdo? I've just had it done. And what about my tutu? I'm not quite sure, because I think it makes my bum look a bit big. Oh, I want a figure like that fashion doll they gave little girl here last Christmas. Oh, she was lovely. It was Cindy or Barbie or something. She had long golden hair and fabulous clothes. She was 44, 18, 24. Look at me. 44, 44, 44. Well, that comes from being made out of the inside of a toilet roll, doesn't it? You know what? You wouldn't believe the turkey the family has bought here. It's the size of a small caravan. They always buy too much. No one needs 100 weight of Brussels sprouts. Oh no, not even in Belgium. And what a pong afterwards. Whoa. That's the thing about Christmas, isn't it? Everyone does things to excess. Have you seen next door? They've put up some outdoor decorations. There are so many lights out there. It looks like Blackpool illuminations, I tell you. And last night, a jumbo jet nearly landed on garage roof. Oh, and what about this tree that I'm supposed to sit on? It's enormous. There's still a family of squirrels hibernating in the trunk. It's got so many baubles hanging off it, it looks like a pawnbroker's convention. And it's got those fairy lights that flash and play music. It's going to be like sitting on top of an high-pitched discotheque. Still, I shouldn't complain. It's that lot in the corner that I feel sorry for. Apparently, it's called a crib scene. Now, I have to be honest. For quite a while, I didn't realise that it had anything to do with Christmas. But I've been talking to one at Camels, and he explained it all to me. It seems there's a baby over there. It's in a manger. Apparently, it's his birthday, poor thing. Fancy being born at Christmas when there's so much going on, eh? Anyway, according to Camel, Mum and Dad couldn't find anywhere to stop and have the baby. They obviously hadn't booked in advance, which is what a sensible person would have done at holiday season. Anyway, they ended up in this stable, which it is very picturesque, I'll give you that. It's just not very hygienic now, is it? So then baby's born, and next thing they know, all these people start appearing. There's a whole load of shepherds with some smelly sheep. There's a donkey, and then 3 kings turned up on camels bearing gifts. That's the kings, not the camels, obviously. Gold, Frankenstein and fur. It should be myrrh, but that broke off a few years back, and when they tried to glue it back on, the cat got it away. And then on top of all of that, there are several angels warbling away, and a whopping great star made out of bottle tops. I feel sorry for child though, I really do. He's dragged out every Christmas and made a fuss of, and then before you know it, he's back in a box and shoved up out of the way in the attic. You never have a chance to get to know him, and it's a pity really, because I get the feeling there's a whole lot more to him than a guest slot in a school nativity and a chorus of Away in a Manger. Anyway, I think it's time for me to climb the tree. I hope they've got one of those non-drop ones. Those pine needles get everywhere. They really make your eyes water, I can tell you. Anyway, I just want to wish you all a really happy Christmas and a jolly new year. Bye!
So there you go. You'd better think twice before putting a fairy on top of your Christmas tree. We don't want any pine needle related accidents, do we? Oh, and by the way, Nigel's been in touch to find out where he can get one of those fantastic pink wigs. We'd think he'd look rather fetching out on his run in one of those, along with his stripy socks. But seriously, a huge thank you to Gillian for recording that sketch for us. Now, on each episode of OBC at Home, we love to interview someone about their work, and in particular how lockdown has affected them in their role. And we didn't want today to be any different. In fact, today's guest is so special that we're amazed he's given up time to speak to us on Christmas Eve of all days. We know he's incredibly busy at this time of year, but I've sent Tom to chat with him about the changes he's had to make to keep Christmas on track this year.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Ellie. I'm here with a very special guest today. We are incredibly grateful to him for giving up some of his time during what is a really busy time of the year for him. What a privilege to welcome Santa Claus himself to OBC at Home today. Santa, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Now, we keep hearing more and more about countries having to go into lockdown over Christmas, and the rumours have sort of started going around that maybe Christmas has been cancelled this year. Santa, is that true?
Oh, yo ho 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 ho! No, Tom. Absolutely not. Look at my latest newspaper headline. Good news for a change. Christmas is not cancelled.
Santa, that is good news indeed. I'm glad to hear. But Santa, how can we be sure? Because with all of this COVID talk going on, most of us in the UK, we've been living in tier 3. Everything has been closed for so long, and so we've hardly had any time to get ready for Christmas. How have you managed to carry on and to keep things going to make sure you're ready whilst everyone else has had to stop?
Tom, you really should know this. We always work from home up here in Lapland. So it's been quite easy, really. And all we've had to do is to create an health and safety policy to make sure that everybody is going to be safe. So I was going to show you the workshop, but unfortunately, our policy means that only elves are allowed in there.
No, Santa, of course, we understand we've got to do everything to keep everyone safe, but maybe you could tell us a little bit more about how you're keeping the elves safe in the workshop, and of course the reindeer as well. How are you keeping them safe this Christmas?
We do have to be very, very careful because we are all very old up here. The elves and the reindeer are 2,000 years old. Can you imagine that? Have a look at this picture. It shows part of our policy for the elves. Our elves are very small, so they only have to stay 2 centimeters apart, whereas our reindeer are very big and it's more difficult for them. They have to remain 2 meters apart, but that's not a problem because they only start working on Christmas Eve. So everything will be fine. We're all set to go.
Excellent. That is good to hear. I'm glad everyone is safe and well where you are up in Lapland, Santa. Now, there's not long to go, Santa, before Christmas Day itself. How have you been keeping up with all of your orders?
Well, happily, Tom, our warehouses are almost full. It's a big job, but we've had a lot of help from somebody I think you know, somebody who lives in Odeby. Okay. He's an expert on warehouses and transport and something that I think he calls logistics. Now, what was his name? His name is Nigel. It's quite a Christmassy name. Nigel Turkey, I think. Or was that Nigel Goose?
Santa, Nigel Swan.
A festive bird. A festive bird. He's been so helpful in organizing our warehouses for us. We can in fact go over and have a look at the warehouse because that's not a closed area like the workshop. And if you'd like to have a look, you can see some of our tiny elves working there. Tom, how many elves can you spot?
Oh gosh, Santa, let me have a little look. Santa, I think I can see 7. Santa and the 7 Elves. That sounds like a film.
Gosh, your education has really paid off, Tom. 7 elves is absolutely correct. Santa Claus and his 7 elves.
Fantastic.
You've heard something about that already.
I have indeed. Santa, today is Christmas Eve. It's always such a busy day with many people glad to be able to go and visit their loved ones that maybe they haven't been able to see for a long time, especially now we've got this kind of travel window over Christmas. Santa, aren't the roads going to be really jammed? I mean, how are you going to manage all of those deliveries from your warehouses?
Oh, Tom, you should really know this. Santa does not travel by road. The roads may be crowded, but the reindeer and the sledge and all of us, we fly everywhere. So the sky is where we are. If you remember the sky last year, and then look at the sky this year, it is going to be so much easier because there are so few airplanes around. So not very much to dodge at all. We shall have the sky to ourselves on Christmas Eve.
Oh, Santa, I'd forgotten all about that. That is good to hear. Santa, before you go, I wonder if I could make a suggestion, because I know that everyone always leaves out mince pies or maybe some cookies, maybe some drinks for you on Christmas Eve night. But I wonder, Santa, if perhaps we should be leaving out some hand sanitizer for you, because I mean, you're going to be going in and out of lots of different homes, right? So we want to keep you safe. We want to keep everyone else safe. Santa, what do you think about hand sanitizer?
please don't forget the mince pies and the drink. We are looking forward so much to that. The hand sanitizer is a great idea. All you need to do is to make sure we can tell the difference between the drink and the hand sanitizer. So we don't want to have an accident on Christmas Eve. So remember, Christmas is not cancelled this year. Yo ho ho ho.
Fantastic. Santa, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you better get going because I know you've got a very busy 24 hours ahead of you as you fly around the world. Have a very happy Christmas. Keep safe. Do send our love from OB to Mrs. Claus and to your workers, to the reindeer. And we look forward, Santa, to seeing all of the wonderful gifts that you're going to be delivering to everyone this year. Thank you, Santa. Keep safe, and we'll see you next Christmas.
Thank you, Tom, and a very, very happy Christmas from all of us up here in the north. We will see you, but I don't think you will see us because we are invisible when we come. Bye.
Thanks, Santa. Bye.
I can't believe how lucky you were to actually meet Father Christmas. What a treat that was.
I know. I feel very honoured to have been given exclusive access for that interview. A big thank you to Santa, and I'm sure that we are all sending our best wishes to him as he travels around the world tonight. Have you asked for Santa anything in particular this Christmas?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
5 new books, 4 chocolate bars, 3 bath bombs, 2 DVDs,
and a
hairdryer.
Oh, that wasn't quite as exciting as I was expecting.
Why? What have you asked for?
Well, I have asked for 12 PS4 games, 11 different vouchers.
All right, we get the picture. Someone's going to be a bit disappointed this year. I've only got him socks.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing. Let's move on, shall we? In fact, we're almost at the end of our show today, and what great fun we've had together.
We have indeed. It's been really exciting working on this OBC at Home Christmas special. We hope that it has brought some joy and happiness to you this Christmas Eve.
We know it's a really tough one, and we know it's not the Christmas anyone expected, but we hope we've been able to put a smile on your face today.
A big thank you to everyone who has helped make our OBC at Home Christmas special, to Rob, to Nigel, to Gillian, to Luke, to all of our previous quiz show winners.
And of course, a very special thank you to Father Christmas himself, who I'm sure will be getting ready right now to set off for Australia and New Zealand as he begins his journey around the world.
Don't forget that we will be releasing our Christmas Day family celebration service for you to watch anytime from 9 AM tomorrow. That's Christmas Day itself.
But now it's time for us to say goodbye.
We hope you have a very happy and a very safe Christmas.
And here to play us out today with a version of Slade's Here It Is, Merry Christmas,
complete with semi-festive attire, which I'm sure Andy was thrilled about.
It's the Brockbank Boys, otherwise known as the Brock Band.
Happy Christmas, everyone!
2, 3, 4.